Hey everybody, welcome to the White House Live event today. I am Matt, and this is Kristina, and we're going to be with you for the next half hour or so, showing you some really fun and creative ways to use products that you maybe know really well, or maybe you haven't seen before, different ways of design and usage for marketing, for bonus, or for what we maybe call icing products here. So just a couple reminders before we get going. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's how you're going to get notified when we do all these fun things that we're doing. This is actually our 6th live event. We're super excited about this one today. It's just going to be an interesting way to use really fun products and to market yourself and just learn how to profit from inexpensive icing products. Make sure and follow along with Jed Toffer on this conversation on YouTube as well as on Instagram. White House Custom Color also has an Instagram account at WHCC Pro, so make sure and follow along there. And then also, for sure, the website at WHCC.com. Quick reminder, send us your questions along the way. We do have a whole team in the room with us today monitoring the chat, and we'll be hitting questions as they come in where they fit into the presentation, so make sure and submit your questions. We'll get them answered for you as quick as we can. So to begin with, we're going to talk about acrylic blocks. So acrylic blocks are one of our newest products here at WHCC and one of my personal favorites. Now, you know that you can use an acrylic block for a family portrait, for senior portraits, for children's. It works out perfect. They're available in 4x6, 5x7, 8x8, and 8x10 in a high gloss fine art print or a high gloss metallic print. But what we're going to talk about today is more interesting ways to use those in addition to a solid family portrait or a senior portrait. So this is actually a design that one of our in-house designers came up with. It's just a little bit more interesting way to take a spin off of the traditional family portrait, to do their name, to add some embellishments to it. It just makes it a little bit more interesting and fun to look at. Plus, these work well as a pair, so if you wanted to pair this with another 5x7 or a 4x6, it works out perfectly. So we're going to leave that up on camera here.
And Matt, too, like this one, I would suggest like the photographer could just have a template pre-made, so it's something really simple. You're not doing a lot of extra work. You're just dragging in the image to your current template, put their last name, and kind of makes a good keepsake, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for the technical side of this, this is a 1-inch piece of acrylic. Like I said, it's either a high gloss inkjet or high gloss metallic. And then it has a piece of black styrene on the back to finish it off. Works perfectly on a desk or a shelf or a little spot in your home. This one I think is really super fun. So if you are a children's photographer or baby photographer or wedding photographer, senior, a lot of times you're doing announcements, designing a press card to announce the birth of the baby, to announce an engagement, to announce a wedding, senior. What a great way to take that same exact design without doing any additional work and making an acrylic block out of it. What a great keepsake, add-on, sale, or a bonus level item for somebody who's invested a lot of money with you. And like Kristina, you were just saying, there's absolutely no more work involved with doing a product like this. Just a great way to say thank you or to add on some additional revenue.
Yeah, I think it's a modern way too, like this one with the baby announcement or like a baptism. Back in the day, you would get like a plaque or something engraved. But again, this is no extra work, and this is like the identical design of a card that we have on our order editor site. So you could use the same thing, that the work you're already doing, and kind of use it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is one of my favorite things that I've seen in a long time.
Yep.
So we're going to slide those to the side. If you guys have additional questions about those, we can feel free to grab the questions along the way. And now we're going to move on to
Image cubes. So image cubes historically, we have a couple different sizes here, 3 different options, with our largest being the 8x8. This would be like a typical way with images, and you don't have to do a design, but like this one is kind of a family. This one's a larger one, so you'd probably put it on a mantle or somewhere larger. But Matt actually has some really cool, fun ones over here if you want to pull those out.
Yeah, these are super fun. So we were kind of playing with these before we went live today. So what a great idea. You know, one of the questions that I get tired of, and this is just from my own personal life, is what are we going to do tonight? Are we going to order out? Are we going to go out? Do you want dessert? Do you want to go see a movie? This is just a really fun spin on doing that. Let's just say that, you know, the person that's in charge for that day comes home first and they decide that tonight you're going to try a new restaurant, and that's the side that faces out. So when you get home from work after a long week on a Friday, oh yes, so the decision's made, or let's go out for dessert tonight, or order takeout. I mean, it's just a fun spin on a great product that you may or may not be familiar with. A couple different ways that this was designed in-house. So there's the different ideas again, but this one actually features some images from a session on it. So let's just say that you were going to do this for a client that's invested substantially with you. Great idea. What a fun little add-on, something that doesn't require a lot of investment as a photographer, but has a tremendous value if you're going to do this for a client. I think this is one of my favorite things that I've seen come out of the design team in a long time.
Yeah, Matt and I were kind of having fun off screen. I always wanted to roll these like a dice in Vegas, but we always said too, like you could play a fun game at home. You're like, okay, what should we do tonight? And you spin it, and it lands at Matt, and we're gonna have a picnic in the park.
Yep, exactly. So I think it's a wonderful idea. Very easy to design. You could lay out the template for this, change some colors based on the session. Again, very easy add-on item or bonus item for your clients. So very fun. Okay, so let's move on to a product that is really fun, very trendy, and very hip for seniors, children, families, weddings, engagements. Pretty much check the box on that. So our little mini snapshots, for those of you that have seen these, they look like a little Polaroid, and they're just an awesome little fun way to personalize a package or to do a unique spin on proofing or small prints. But how do you use these for really fun ways? So we've just come up with a few ideas to pass along to you today. So simple little stands. If you're doing a fun dinner party or you're doing a group event and you want to just have these out on the food table, dessert table, to mark people's individual spots to sit, they're great little ways. These are actually, I think that I have a pair of these that came from Crate & Barrel a long time ago that just clip the prints into. They work wonderfully.
Yeah, I mean, any store, Target, Michael's sell these little clips nowadays. Amazon, you can get a ton on too.
Yeah, and how cute is this, Kristina?
I know, here, I'll hold the other side for you.
That's awesome. So I've seen this used several times at engagements and weddings and parties. A very inexpensive, unique way to use the mini snapshots. These cute little clips to hold them onto a rope. You could do multiple sizes if you want to. You wouldn't have to necessarily stop with the mini snapshots. You could do 5x7s. You could put an 8x10. You could do, you know, whatever you wanted on that. But this is just a really fun, unique way. Keep in mind, if you do print these on fine art paper, you can write little notes on the bottom of them too. So it's a fun, inexpensive, high value thing to do for your clients.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like an interactive, fun, like it shows that you're innovative and creative too, and want to kind of get with the times and not do old stuffy products, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like I was saying a couple of minutes ago, I have seen photographers use mini snapshots as a way to brand their packaging on the way out too, because it's a nice way you can write a little thank you note or write the client's name, put it onto one of the premium packaging boxes with a little glue dot. Works out perfectly for that.
Matt, looks like we did get a question in.
Oh, okay, sounds good. So what papers can you get the mini snapshots on? So you can get those, and you might have to correct me on this, on luster, on metallic, and then on smooth matte fine art.
And deep matte photo.
And deep matte photo. Thank you for adding that on. So yeah, so there's some different options for that. And then we did lay out this book. Maybe we'll want to go to the overhead camera on this one just so you can kind of see. Is this the right orientation? Yes,
I think
that's
you're
good. Okay, so another fun way to use the mini snapshots, tape them in, creating a little scrapbook style. Again, a very inexpensive add-on or a gift that you can give to clients, especially for a tween session, senior session. You can go through it and write fun notes and just design a book that really does have a personal flair for the person that's designing it, and make it your own.
Yeah, and I think this one too, this is something that you could do like a bonus. You could have this in the studio and kind of show them how to use it, but I kind of imagine like this one, the teen or the senior would kind of do this themselves. This is washi tape that we just got from Michael's or your local craft store. But it kind of makes them feel like they can put together their own book. You know, when you do senior books or other books, the photographer puts it together. With this, they kind of feel connected to, almost like scrapbooking, but it's really classy, and they can kind of intertwine like the nice photos that you took for them, and they'll always remember this because they'll have it for a long time. So.
Absolutely. And one of the questions that I had in the sales room for years and years, if mom was investing in a really high-end album from a senior session, the senior wanted one too, and the mom was like, well, you know, I don't know if we really necessarily want to buy two of them.
Yeah.
This is a great way for the senior to be able to have the images, customize it. If something happens to it, to get something spilled on it, it's not the end of the world. So great usage for the snapshots. Another thing here before we move on with the next round. So a lot of times you'll go to a wedding or an engagement party or a birthday party, and you'll see a signature book out. So signature books are wonderful, and they're a great way to have people able to see the pictures, be able to sign in them, all the things. But typically what happens with these is that the first couple pages get signed, and then potentially the rest of them don't. So this is a great spin on using the traditional signature book, but then also having a display of the mini snapshots out, so people will write on the mini snapshots as well as the book, and then the snapshots could actually be added to the pages in the book later on to kind of give that a little bit more of a custom effect.
Yeah, and this one we kind of customize, like write a message here, sign here, so you can kind of encourage people to put their message or love notes on here too. And like the client, your could keep this too, because this is a cute display as is. Or like you said, Matt, then they could take this and then add it to their sign-in book for later date. Just for some extra fun and kind of, again, showing that you are trendy, but also care about them and like want them to be involved in their setup.
Absolutely, and it's just a little bit more interactive, and I think that's what we're all about these days, genuine, interactive, and just fun. Okay, so let's slide that over here. So let's move on to, I almost forgot about this one. Sorry, Caitlin. Another really fun idea. So again, taking the idea of the snapshots being really interactive, what a great way. You can order a frame print, and basically what this is in the background is a mounted print that this is your story has been put on in Photoshop. So you're ordering this as your print without acrylic on the front, and then you're taking the mini snapshots and actually creating your own design on there, just basically sticking them on with a glue dot or Velcro, depending on how much you want to change them around. But we do get questions all the time in the trade show booth and online about, can we switch things out later? Can I change things later? This is completely customizable. You can change it out as you want. As the seasons change, as the sessions change, it's completely your option to do so. So great idea, very inexpensive, high value item for your clients.
I think too, and like we're not pitching that this should be your main seller product, right? Like you should still sell them the final frame print that they're going to keep on their wall for many years. But this is kind of a cool thing that you could add on or let them change out, especially for kids or for families as the family grows, but then they would still have their frames and stuff that match all the other things kind of on the wall, and this would kind of be like a fun, medium interactive thing on there.
Absolutely. And if you do, just a little tidbit for those of you that don't know this, if you did do your print in metallic, those actually kind of double as a dry erase board. So if you have a dry erase marker, you can actually write on those and take things off, so that could take this to another level of putting the snapshots on, doing little notes and
and like Caitlin, our designer from behind the scenes, she's already stuck a thing on there just so we could show you like how fun and easy it would be to add that on there. So.
Yeah, so super fun, super easy, and relatively low cost to get into. So hand this back down here. All right, and remember, as we're going along, if you have any questions about anything, make sure and put them in the chat, and we'll answer those along the way. If they don't pertain to exactly what we're talking about at the time, we will save them to the end. So moving on to our next round. So as I'm putting these up here, you are thinking to yourself, that is an ornament. And that would be correct in the technical term. But if you think outside the box about how you could use ornaments for something that is not holiday related or not going onto a tree, how fun would it be if you're having an event, let's just say you're having a girls' weekend, or you have a wedding or an engagement party or something where people are staying overnight. What a fun thing to design these ornaments two-sided and to use this as like a a door hanger, you know, for the room that people are going to be staying in, or as accompaniment to a gift that goes onto the gift box. Now they come with this size ribbon on them, and you can change from several different colors.
Yep.
We added this one just to show you that you don't have to necessarily keep it exactly as it is. You can put something different on there and change the use case. Now this one that I'm holding on to is super fun. It is before and after basically of two friends, front and back. A lot of different options for something that is technically an ornament.
Yeah, and we were saying too, like it might be fun for at a wedding, like his and hers on the chair or something like that, that they could also then keep later to put on the tree. You know, right now when people do that, they're usually the signs they throw away or something like that, you know.
Yep, yep, exactly. Or to even, I mean, you could hang it from your rearview mirror in your car if you wanted to. I mean, there's a lot of different uses for something that is technically an ornament. And the style of them being that they are a little bamboo, they're nice and heavy, they have a great feel to them, almost kind of a mid-century style, I would say, in a way. So a lot of different uses, so don't get honed in on something just being an ornament, and you could use it for a lot of different things as well. So, all right, keep in mind, we're answering questions along the way. Keep them coming. All right, what's up next,
we got
KG?
wood boxes, and I'll take that one.
Okay.
So again, we have lots of different sizes of wood boxes, big, small, wood, and not. We're showing you right now these wood boxes, kind of to be able to use as keepsakes. So like this one right here is engraved with husband and wife's name, and then inside, I don't know if you can catch that. Anyway, yeah, we put rings inside. So it's kind of like a keepsake box with the rings inside. So it's a perfect little spot. And again, the client will always think of you every day when they go to get their rings, but it's also really cute. And you can kind of simply customize it. You don't have to customize it for every client. You could just do the name, so it'd be something really similar. This one is like pitching, so like this limon, they have an Etsy shop online, right? And they sell bath salts. And so you could put the bath salts inside and do creative things. You don't always have to just put the photo prints inside. And again, like even this 5x7 wood box, it has a little hidden corner in there that you can hide even more stuff in there, kind of as keepsakes type stuff.
Absolutely. And a couple other uses too. Like I live with somebody, and Kelly, if you're listening, I apologize, who always loses her earrings. And this would be a wonderful spot to put them at the end of the evening, so we wouldn't have to look every morning to try to figure out where they were. And then also, you know, from a personal perspective, I happened to lose a wonderful pet last year, and we keep all of her stuff in one of the large boxes. You know, her necklace, we called it, and pictures and all that stuff. So it's a great way to keep important things in one spot. It doesn't necessarily have to just be for photographs all the time. So awesome use cases for those.
Okay, so the next product we're going to visit is cards. So cards are extremely versatile. We're going to actually take a look at our editor here just to show you kind of our go through some of the design options that we have. And then Matt will also be able to show you some ones that we have. So first off, obviously when you think of cards, people a lot of times think of holiday being the traditional. But if you go inside here, like let's just click on babies and kids. We do have a lot of birthday invites. So you know, if you or your clients are having a birthday party, how cool would it be if you offered them to have, you know, their unicorn magical card. And we're kind of constantly adding to this. There is baby shower invites in there. Thank you notes. I also use this for my own son, but it's kind of like an interactive thank you where the child can write a line on there, and you can still customize with the photo you took maybe at a mini session or at their family session. So we have lots of versatility already built into the cards. Again, with marketing too, we have stationery and some other stuff. What we want to do too is kind of just show you too, like on top of the cards, there's being lots of collections. You can, we strive really hard, our designers, to make all the cards as editable as much as possible. So I'm going to go in here. So we get lots of questions on like, just recently they wanted a first communion card. Okay. And so like I'm gonna go in wedding and go ahead and click on this card to see if I can edit this. I'm gonna say celebrate. I'm gonna go ahead and drag in our little boy who is
just magically happens to be on this card.
Yeah. See, it's really simple. So just kind of showing you, like, there's so much things that you can do with these cards, and why not as a photographer be able to offer these sorts of things. And again, like I did that in less than a minute, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Matt can show you the final card right here. You can kind of see if you can zoom in there.
Absolutely. You know, as a photographer, and when somebody is in your studio or in your sales room and they ask a question, you always, as much as possible, want that answer to be yes. And if they're asking for something specific, you want to be able to help them with that, and definitely we are there to help support that. So I'm actually holding on to the finished card that Kristina designed in like less than a minute. So.
Yep, and so like I'm on here now, so like I'm gonna create a baptism card, and so I went to the wedding category and just editing this because this looks like it could be a great baptism card, you know, and I can put, so again, it's just kind of showing you how versatile these cards are. We did do a couple of pre-designed ones, like this one is for quinceañera, so we get lots of those. And this was taken from the senior collection, but it's kind of fun for in-betweens in between. This one, we get lots of ones for Kwanzaa. And we do already have some pre-ones that are set to say Kwanzaa, but it's just kind of showing you how versatile cards really are. Okay. And like the stationery one, like how cool is this one? So Matt is holding, and I'll go ahead and go into it. It's a holiday card, and so, but over through the years, I feel like it's really important that we've all known to connect with people on a personal level. So stationery is actually like a really fun thing that anybody could take care of or not. Yep, so see if you can see. So I'll try to go ahead and create the card that Matt is holding up.
Should I tip it up so it makes it less of a challenge for you?
Yeah, so I think they're having trouble seeing it, Matt. I don't know if you want to hold it up that way or which way. I think it's probably because it's foil. Show the foil. Oh, so there you go. Okay, so like, can you see? Am I crooked? There you go.
Got it.
And then kind of show the stationery with it, the envelope. So again, you can go in here and customize the envelope. And again, so it's just kind of reminding you that, you know, a lot of times when they think of cards, they think of holiday or like senior grad cards. There's just so many more options that you can do on there that are already either available for you and or super editable.
Yep, exactly. And you definitely don't want to pass over the envelopes because the envelopes are awesome with the Euro style flap on them. You can get black printing, you can get white printing or white ink on them. That was new to us last year. You can also do recipient addressing, which is super cool, as well as a return address stamped on the envelopes.
So we got a question, is that deckled edge an option? Yes, so this is one of our new shapes. I think you can kind of see it on this one. Maybe I'll turn it the back way, that'd be easier. Our Zoom guys now, oh, there we go, okay. There you go. I think you can kind of see the shape a little better. But yes, that's one of our new options, and we're actually offering a couple more of the teared paper options soon. So yeah, we're really excited about that. It's a new fun shape we added.
Absolutely, and that was a fantastic segue. And if you have all this wonderful stationery, how do you actually store it? So I do have what we would traditionally use as an image box, which you could do matted prints or loose prints or mounted prints in, but what a great way to store your beautiful stationery on your desk. And it just creates a beautiful way to keep this intact. There's 5x7s, they fit right in there. You can close this up. There we go. Oh yeah, with the envelopes underneath there too. Nice, tricky. You're hiding from me. So that's just another use case for a product that you're probably very familiar with.
And Matt, what is that? That's basically an image box, right? So
it
normally
is,
we would show it with a photo print wrapped around it.
Yep,
and
exactly.
this is just one of our linens?
Yep, this is a blue or a navy linen, and the linen is beautiful. For those of you that are familiar with the restoration hardware outlets or stores, galleries, it really feels like it's a texture that could be in that store. So beautiful. Another use case for that here, just a faux leather wrapped around for the image box, and then again a place to store your stationery. So same use case, just a little bit different look for the box. And then let's slide over.
And again, this
here.
takes no design time, right? So like that's why we're kind of pitching, like we understand you're kind of already bombarded with things that you're offering in your current packages, so these are kind of ideas to not cost any more time designing.
Yep, exactly. And this is going to be what we would traditionally show at a trade show for an image box. So this is going to have the images inside. We've got some fine art, some photo prints, but you can always mix and match these too. Let's just say that a wedding couple is picking this up from you. It would be very easy to design some fun note cards for them as a little bonus that you haven't said anything about, and they pick up their wonderful images, their beautiful box, and they've got some custom stationery on the top. Great way to market yourself with your logo on there or your website, and they think it's wonderful. It has a very, very high perceived value. Okay, so do you want to move on to a few little fun add-on items?
So the next little category we're going to talk about is traditionally found in our sports catalog, but there are a lot of like fun swag items that you could offer as part of your branding. So we're kind of pulling them out, and we'll put in the chat too of how to get to the sports rows. But we kind of are showing just, these are all kind of cheap product, which is positive, but they could make a big weight on your clients. So the first one here is keychains. So we know we have lots of different traditional keychains, but this is kind of showing like if you're a pet photographer or even if you're a family photographer and you know they have pets, people love their pets. This is kind of showing putting their pet on there. This one too, like it's kind of saying, you know, if the dog passed away, this could be a cute gift that you could put in the mail. It's small enough you could put into an envelope. But wow, would a client then think how amazing it would be that the photographer thought of them and mailed them something like that, even though this costs a few dollars, you know, it carries a big weight.
Absolutely.
The next one in here is bag tags. You want to hold some of these up, Matt?
Absolutely.
This
Perfect for back to school.
Yeah, so back to school. So this one's super fun. So traditionally we think of like sports images, but our designer here that helps design cards is this kind of like a fun bag tag. And again, like how cool is it, even if you don't do sports or events like that your photographer would think about you, the kid takes the backpack every day, and it's something fun that you can offer. And again, not a lot of money, but you can use it as like an add-on. Just kind of, and also kind of shows like branding, right? Like that you're kind of standing out from the rest, you know? That's kind of different.
And what a great way too, again, you know, going back to packaging, we have a lot of questions typically about how do I do custom packaging, what should I do? What a great way, you know, you do a bag tag that goes onto that children's portrait box, you know, as you're delivering the order, or the senior box, like Kristina was saying, a few dollars that has a really high perceived value. It's always wonderful to get a gift that you weren't expecting. So, yep, a great way to utilize inexpensive products to get a big return on them.
Yep.
So everybody loves coffee, right?
Yeah.
I love coffee.
I actually don't.
You're
I like
not
Red Bull.
a coffee drinker. You're a Red Bull or Mountain Dew drinker. So let's talk a little bit about some options for coffee mugs and the like here. So. Again, our wonderful in-house designers came up with a couple custom sayings and designs for the coffee mugs. I think this is awesome. You've got to go get me coffee right meow. So don't hone in on just having to have images on these. What a great way to put your logo, or if you know that you're working with a client that's going to have a big event, you can offer to do these fun little items for them. You don't have to say, well, I don't do those because it's not typically in my wheelhouse. All these things are available to you. So wonderful, fun little designs just to make people smile and laugh.
Yeah, and this one's kind of like a branding thing that you could give your client. It says, I'm about to snap. And it kind of has their logo on there. Again, it's just kind of a nice thing they could walk away with. It's not very expensive. It looks really nice, especially if you do a nice job designing. And this is, again, is something you don't have to design all the time. You could get help designing it one time, and you could multiple people could get the same mug, and it's really nice.
Absolutely. And if you do in-person sales at your studio, you know, what a great conversation piece. Somebody's going to see that, know you're a photographer, and think that that's funny. It's just it's a way to break the ice and to just kind of take the edge off of sales appointments that sometimes get a little tense. I love these insulated mugs. So we're all on the go all the time now. You know, every single one of us grabs our coffee in the morning or whatever we choose to drink, if it's Red Bull, and into a mug it goes to keep it cold or warm, and away we go. This has been used several times. A lot of the photographers that I work with have actually put their own logo on here and then either given them out as bonuses, or you know, they kind of have like brand ambassadors that they want to be carrying around. So we do a lot of these with logos, but you can also get images on them. I don't want to skip over that. So this is going to be a different style bottle, but it's going to have a single image on it. I love this. This is my particular favorite. I use mine all the time. So just keep in mind that all these options are available to you. If you want to have custom travel mugs, coffee mugs, water bottles, we can do that for you here.
And just to clarify, this is the insulated travel mug, and this is the insulated water bottle.
Yep, for technical. Yep, for sure. And then, Kristina, do you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, Caitlin's tossing us the blankets. So we call them bleacher blankets and then full blankets. So the bleacher blankets are more like a beach towel. So this would be something that you could offer, again, more as like swag or branding, or if you're doing a special event. to offer like a beach towel with your logo on it, or even the kids. The blankets too, the bigger blankets make really good keepsakes for the grandparents or others, and it's kind of like a different product, right? Because I know people are always trying to think of different products for stuff like that, and or for mini sessions and stuff like that. Just something different if you're not necessarily in the sports arena.
Exactly, and I get that question a lot. Like, what do we do for add-on items? What are some of the small things? What can you use for a bonus level? What can you add on to sales? What can I use for marketing? That's why we're talking about this today, stuff that we would consider to be kind of like more icing products. So again, reminder, put your questions into the chat. We can hit those along the way here. Okay, so metals. Let's talk about different use case for metal prints. So metals are one of my favorite things that we do here. I love when we're doing tours, be able to stop in that department and talk about how they're made. A lot of times when we think metals, we think big, which is fantastic, and that should be the mainstay of what you're doing. But there are other ways that you can use metal prints. There's great little like 5x7 or 5x5 with a simple little easel back on them. What a great way, inexpensive, to either market your business. If you're partnering with different businesses, put your logo on there, donate something, put it on their counter. It's just a silent salesperson for you. Otherwise, if you don't want to do the easel back and you want to just do a simple metal print without anything on them, and I'll let zoom in here because that's going to be an unmounted metal. It very easily could slip into one of our little wood easels as well. We use these for gift items all the time. They're a great way to just let somebody know that you're thinking about them. And then also magnets, and we're going to let Connor zoom in on that too. So again, this is a 5x5 metal print with a magnet on the back, with one of our awesome designs that our design team came up with. So several different ways that you can use metal prints.
Yeah, and I think the way we're kind of showing these ones, this past year and a half, we're all about spreading joy, and like how can we make other people smile while thinking about just spreading joy to everyone else. So this is like a really good way that's not super expensive. And if anyone's noticed, we've been putting these art prints from our designers that we design in-house in our packages. So we can kind of show those too. But yeah, it's just kind of showing a fun way. Again, this doesn't have to do anything with their photo, but it's kind of shows your personality and shows what you're about. It says grow through what you go through. Just kind of spreading positivity, and again, they'll think of you when they have this up.
Absolutely, and these are the art prints that Kristina was just talking about. So I'm guessing that several of you that are watching today opened up your White House box, and in addition to your Tootsie Pops, you found an art print like this, and it truly has been the year of spreading joy. So these are all done by our in-house designers. And they're just really fun. And we've seen people on Zoom calls with these framed in the background or hanging in the refrigerator. It's just a fun way to do it. But just because we do it doesn't mean that you can't do it. What a wonderful way that you could come up with a fun design, print off 8x10s, 5x7s, 4x6s, whatever you want, and tuck those into your packages with a little note of encouragement or joy. It's a wonderful thing to do, again, with a high value, with a relatively low entry cost.
Yep. It looks like we have some questions, Matt, over there.
Okay, sounds good. So smallest size 4x6 or 5x5, I would need to double check on that so I don't give the wrong
she's
information.
telling us.
Oh, so it must be 4x6. Thanks, Kat. That puts the pressure on you. And then use a metal as whiteboard. So I don't know for sure on that if you can. I know on a metallic print you can. Okay, we're getting the yes. So I'm guessing with a dry erase marker that you can do that as well. So, but I do know metallic works for that also. So good questions on that. So while we're waiting here, just to make sure we've caught everything, I want to remind you, and maybe Kristina can navigate to this on the screen, that on our YouTube, we do have a series by Vicki Toffer, who we work with very closely, about her studio, her products, how she sells, all the things. Vicki and Jed are wonderful people. They're a wealth of knowledge, and Vicki is very willing to share and help photographers in learning how to sell, how to market products, all of the things there. So Kristina is actually navigating to where that's at. So you can go to the page and you can actually subscribe, like I mentioned earlier, and that way you'll get notifications on when we're doing lives, but also you'll have access to all of this information that is on YouTube right now. Another fun one you may want to check out is the one that Kristina's pointing at right now. So we actually went over to a studio in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, and we did kind of like a little HGTV thing.
Yeah.
We went and helped her decide how her displays were going to look, helped her with images, and then actually took the van over there and the video crew and all the stuff, and we did an install. And we have a bunch of before and afters. We also talked to Vicki about her approach to sales and how she markets products and how it was important to her to have products up on her wall, so the first time that people came in, they understood that they weren't just coming in to purchase files from her. So both are awesome. Definitely check out both the Vickies, one with an I, one with a Y,
Yeah.
but those are great to watch. So it looks like our questions are clear for the day, so unless you have anything else to add.
No, I don't think so. I think this is a fun one. We'll probably do more of these. I know on the marketing and design team, we love coming up with these ideas. We kind of show a lot of these at trade shows or whatever.
Absolutely.
But again, they're just supposed to be fun, creative, innovative uses to use.
Absolutely. And just so you know, like these are some of my favorite things. So the icing products, bonus items, add-ons are a way to build your sales. So what we're talking about here is hopefully ways that you can build your marketing structure, build your brand, build your sales, and all the things. So feel free, if you have questions after the fact, to jump on our website and email customer service. You can certainly send the questions to myself or Kristina. We'll be glad to get back with you on that. Quick reminder, make sure and subscribe to the YouTube channel for WHCC. You can also subscribe to This Conversation, which is the podcast that Jed Toffer hosts, and those are amazing. You can sit and listen to Jed for hours. He just loves to talk. So definitely do that. Follow us on Instagram, WHCC Pro, and then also online, of course, at WHCC.com. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you again soon.